Hello everybody, it's me Ryan here at MandRproductions, and today I'm going to be taking a look at all 7 of the first wave sets from LEGO Star Wars The Last Jedi. This does not include the buildable figures because I don't really count them in this type of comparison. There's something completely different from these LEGO sets that are like actually built compared to the buildable figures, which are more like this, and it's really hard to compare something like this to something like an AT-AT or an ATM-6 as the new name is. But so we are going to run through all 7 of these sets in order from the price of lowest to highest, and then we're going to give you all the details on them. I'm going to give you what I think about the minifigs, my favorite feature of the set, my idea on how it looks and what they could have done better. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a huge thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you're new here, if this is your first time ever watching an MandRproductions video, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more of my future videos. I make a lot of LEGO Star Wars videos, and I'm going to be dabbling in some non-LEGO Star Wars LEGO videos soon, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. I also want you guys to comment below which of these sets is your personal favorite. I'm going to tell you mine at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned. So without further ado, let's get this porg out of the way and take a look at all of the sets. So the first set we have here is the Resistance Transport Pod. It has 294 pieces and will set you back $30. It's a pretty good looking set, which is covered in stickers, unfortunately. You can see I had a little bit of a problem with this sticker. I had to take it off and then put it back on, and it left a little bit of a mark there with the sticker. The 3 minifigs look alright. You get Finn, Rose, and Bb-8, so you get a pretty okay minifigure selection in my opinion. Something someone told me about the Finn minifigure is that around back, it is stitched up from where Kylo Ren had cut him in the last movie, so I find that to be a really interesting detail, and that's definitely a good thing on the minifigs in this set, is that they went to an extreme level of detail. Another thing that I just noticed earlier while setting this up, Finn has a silver weapon. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but did Finn steal Captain Phasma's gun? I don't know how he got a silver gun, but I think he could have stolen Captain Phasma's gun. I'm going to go into more detail about that in another video, I think, but that's just something interesting I thought about. My favorite thing about this set in particular is the ability to open up pretty much all the hatches on the set, and I love that it has this ability to basically go from the cockpit to this back area all in once, where you can have Bb-8 sitting, and you can have Rose and Finn in the front section. You get the point, but that's probably my favorite feature about this set. For $30, I find it to be a bit expensive, but we'll get into my complete ratings after I go through all of these one by one. I almost forgot to turn it around and show you the engine area, which I also really like. It's got these blue transparent minifig heads, which I think look awesome for the engines. So I think the engines are something that I really like on this set too, although I do really love the ability to go from the cockpit to the center area on the ship as well. So really neat set, great features. The next set is the First Order Heavy Scout Walker. It has 554 pieces, and it's the most unique looking design, I'd say, out of all of these sets. It's something we have never seen before. It has 4 minifigs. We get a First Order Flame Trooper, General Hux, a First Order Gunner, and a Resistance Trooper. So my favorite minifig here is probably General Hux. The other 2 over here, the Resistance Trooper and the First Order Gunner, are a little bit bland to me. Although the Flame Trooper is returning from Episode 7, he is really awesome still here in Episode 8. It's the same minifig. The First Order Heavy Scout Walker, though, is the most unique design that I've seen from the new movie, and I really, really like it. You can see that it has a really cool walking feature. Just like that. It's got wheels on the bottom. That's probably my favorite feature in this set. The big downfall for this set I find to be is the price. I know it's 554 pieces for $50, but it just feels like it doesn't have a killer feature other than the way the legs move, which isn't even like that exciting. I find that the interior is lacking in space. It was very hard for me to fit both minifigs in there for my review, so I would definitely say be warned about that. But other than that, it's pretty neat looking, it's very unique looking, and that's about all I have to say for that. This is probably going to end up being the worst set out of all the Episode 8 sets, but we have to wait and see. Skipping up another $30 to the $80 price range already, we have Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter with 630 pieces. It's a very, very similar look to the TIE Interceptor, except it's in all black and it has some red, and it's very sleek looking, which I really do like. You have Kylo Ren, Bb-8, a TIE Pilot, and a First Order Stormtrooper. That TIE Pilot is an amazing minifigure. It's probably my favorite one in this set. The Kylo Ren is also looking pretty darn dope. Bb-8 looking pretty swag next to him, using some cool words, and the First Order Stormtrooper to boot, so that's pretty nice. The TIE Fighter is very awesome looking, although I find it a little bit off-putting that there's nowhere for Bb-8 to go. He couldn't just stick on one of these tiles here basically are plates, but there's no like actual spot that's for BB-9E. The cockpit area is really awesome. There's lots of space in here. You can open this up and put Kylo Ren in there very easily. Again, I really love this red cockpit area. It has this really cool theme to it. The red and black looks really nice, and I think they did a good job accenting with the dark gray. It's one of my favorite sets here in the Last Jedi line. You got some stickers here on the side. I think they're stickers. I can't remember if they're stickers or they're printed, but nonetheless, they look just fine now, regardless of which they are. So, pretty nice looking set. That is the Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter. Jumping up another $20, we have the UCS Bb-8. It has 1,106 pieces, and of course the one BB-8 minifigure, which is of course included in the set. It's the best minifig you can get in this set. It's the same BB-8 that we've had for years. It comes with a UCS plaque, which is awesome, although I find it to be very small, which kind of makes me a little bit upset. I wish it was plated all the way and then the thing was bigger. I don't know. I wish it was kind of like some of the older ones. This set has some awesome play features. It has the ability to pull out by spinning the thumbs up, kind of just like it did in Episode 7, which is awesome. And then you can also spin the head and have it move around a ton by spinning the thing on the other side. Just a really cool set. It's got the forward and back motion, and it can also spin around, so very awesome. That's the Bb-8. That's about all it does. Unfortunately, I've had a lot of trouble with the stand that he goes on, so I have to like take this piece off. And otherwise, when I put it on the stand, one of these black things just falls off, and that basically allows Bb-8 to fall off, which is not a good thing. So Bb-8 can stand just fine without the stand, if you're wondering. So it's not like you have to have him on the stand, but the stand for me has been an issue, but the Bb-8 is good enough to stand alone. So if you want to just take the stand away and just use the plaque card, if you're having the same problem I am, and you would know if you are, yeah, see how it just fell off? Even though I didn't have the thing there, I would say just take the stand away and just have the plaque card. Next up is 780 pieces for $110. We have the Resistance Bomber. This is an awesome Lego set, something that I've been pleasantly surprised by. It's got these 5 minifigures right here. Vice Admiral Holdo, a bunch of Resistance pilots and gunners, and then Poe Dameron. So a good minifigure selection. All these minifigs are able to fit inside of the Resistance Bomber, which is really awesome. You can open up this cockpit here by pulling it away from the centerpiece. You can see there's lots of control panels in there and an area for your Resistance pilot to fit, which is very nice. You can also open up this center compartment area to reveal another control area for Vice Admiral Holdo, where Poe Dameron can sit as well, or another minifig if you so choose. So a lot of interior space with this thing, and then these things open up here to basically insert bombs inside, which can drop out of the bottom very easily. Just like this, you have this thing on the back, and bam, you dropped a bomb. So very, very awesome features on this set. Let's bring it around back. I really love the way the engines look on this thing. They also have the ability, if you push in this thing right here, it's going to shoot a spring-loaded missile right out of there, although I'm not going to do that right now. You get the point, you know what it does. Here's the engine look on the back. Kind of reminds me of something from the Rebellion, if you catch my drift. Hopefully they bring that into the Lego form one day. I think it's a Nebulon B frigate. And then we have these really cool mini turrets on the back. Have some guns. They can open up pretty easily. They are on swivels, so as the ship turns, it turns as well. It turns about yay far, 180 degrees I'd say at most, so you can put your minifig in there. There's a little control panel, which is really awesome. So you get lots of playability on this set. This is one of the most playable sets, I would say, in the entire line. I would probably say it has the most play features out of anything, because I just feel like it's the most playable. It really does. And you can just swish it around so easily if you pick it up. And you can hold it right here. Very sturdy build. It's not breaking apart. Oh yeah, the front looks awesome. Just very awesome build. So that's the Resistance Bomber with its minifigs. Very cool set. Next up is the First Order Heavy Assault Walker. It includes a First Order Heavy Assault Walker driver, a First Order Stormtrooper, a Resistance Trooper, Rey, and Captain Poe Dameron. That Rey is in a brand new outfit, which looks really awesome. Captain Poe Dameron gonna get the same treatment there. And of course we have Poe Dameron from the previous set. This is $150 for 1,376 pieces. So a really pricey set, 150 bucks. This is going to be the second most expensive set out of the Last Jedi wave. But it does look really awesome. It has the really cool ability to move the legs. It can swivel its head. Unfortunately, the head does not move up and down at all. So that's something that I really wish it was able to do, but it just doesn't. It does have 2 points of articulation for the head, but I just feel like it should move up and down. I just like that better. Anyway, it does have this really cool ability. It has a stud shooter on top that you can move in and out, up and down, so it gives you that really cool bit of playability, which I really love on this set. It's also got these bomb canisters on the back, which you can pull off if you so choose. You can also open up these panels back here to reveal a small interior, and I mean small. There isn't much to do in there, unfortunately, which is something I kind of harked on it in my review for. Again, no more interior space. There is this small little panel which you can open up and reveal some studs for your stud shooters, or over here there's another panel with a barrel, or rather a crate, which probably has a gun inside. So you can open up the cockpit here to reveal where you can put in your first order walker driver, but again, there's not too much space in there. You're not going to have too much to do in there. There's a little control panel in there, but it's kind of hard to show. You can understand what's going on in there. It's pretty normal, pretty standard. Some spring-loaded shooters here at the bottom of the head, so a very menacing looking set, but for $150, I just find it to be too expensive. But again, we'll get into that when I get to my rankings on the sets. And lastly, we have the First Order Star Destroyer for $160, 1,416 pieces. We have the First Order Stormtrooper Sergeant, the First Order Stormtrooper, Snoke, and some other First Order minifigures, along with Bb-8 included in this set as well. So this is the other set that includes Bb-8 that isn't the Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter. So you're going to be paying twice as much if you want that Bb-8. Snoke is an interesting minifigure, but he's nothing super special looking to me. Maybe he'll be cooler to me after Episode 8 and he becomes like a cool character, but right now to me he's just kind of a mystery, so we're gonna have to wait and see how that turns out. As far as the design of the ship, I think they did a good job trying to get it to be accurate as they could to the actual ship in universe. It's pretty darn big. It has this carrying handle right built into it, which is really nice. It was a very fun and leisurely building experience, I will say that. So you have this carrying handle, which is going to carry it just fine. Gives you that swooshability that we all love. So you can swish it around your bedroom or wherever you are playing with this set. It's got some stud shooters on the sides to represent turrets. Unfortunately, they don't turn or anything, so you kind of lose that playability here. It's a very sleek looking ship, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to move this out of the way so that we can open up this top part. So the bridge comes up. I will show you the engines real quick. That's the engines. Very nice looking engines. But anyway, the bridge comes up. You have this holographic Kylo Ren in here, which is something that Snoke is supposed to be talking to, and of course he just falls off. But you can open up the panels on this set to reveal the massive interior, which gives you lots of stuff to do. You can put your First Order troops in here. You can have them seated in there, kind of messing around with the computer panels. There's also this walkway on top with those red stickers, which I really like. I think they did a cool job making it look really awesome. So then you have over here more control panels, more different things for your troops and Supreme Leader Snoke to do. You have some stairs going on over here. You have this lift over here, which is really interesting. So you can lift a trooper up to talk to Supreme Leader Snoke up here, or whatever you want to do with that. And then you just get more stuff over here. Another control panel, a seating area. And then there's our holographic Kylo Ren trying to hide under the table like I did at Brickworld. And get him back up here where he belongs. So that's Supreme Leader Snoke, or not Supreme Leader Snoke, that's Kylo Ren. Very small Kylo Ren. So that's the interior of the First Order Star Destroyer. It just closes right back up. You do have to close the panels before you close the bridge piece, because otherwise it won't go in right. That's just how it works. So you have to close both the panels. They close them pretty easily, and then you close the bridge. So very, very nice set. Let's go on to my rankings of all of the Last Jedi sets. Which one is going to be the best? Is it going to be Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter? Is it going to be the Resistance Bomber for all its playability features? Will it be Bb-8 because he's Bb-8? Find out next. That was stupid. And drum roll please. At number 7, I have chosen the First Order Heavy Scout Walker. This is what I'm going to call the worst set in the Last Jedi line, although I don't think it's absolutely terrible. I think it's actually a pretty okay set. It's got some cool playability. It's got a great price per piece. It's got some nice minifigs, although I just feel like it's lacking in the minifig department. And honestly, if I was to choose one of these sets that I wish they didn't make, it would probably be this one. I don't know. It's just kind of something weird. Although I guess weird is good, because people are complaining about too many copies from previous Imperial sets and previous Resistance troop transports. And at number 6, the best set, wow, such a prestigious award, we have the Resistance transport pods. So this set really only got the nudge over the First Order Walker because I felt like the playability on this one's better. It gives you more interior space than the $50 set. and it gives you more things to do. You can open up tons of hatches, tons of things, spin around and move on this thing. It's got really cool looking engines. It just has a different feel to it for $30 that I really like now that I have it in my hands, and I think the minifigs are pretty darn cool as well. And here's where it gets tough. I really like these remaining 5 sets. I think they're all really good, but at number 5, I'm going to say the First Order Heavy Assault Walker, just because I feel like it doesn't have a big enough interior. I still feel like there's more interior space on that thing than there is on here. I just really feel like this thing's lacking something that really would have made it great. It just feels like another copy of an AT-AT that they didn't make any real changes to, which is unfortunate. The minifig selection is okay, but I wish there were more Stormtroopers included for $150. I think that's the baseline of my decision here for number 5. And at number 4, we have the First Order Star Destroyer. This thing is really awesome. It's got a great interior, and by no means is it bad because it didn't make the top 3. It's still a really awesome set with some really darn awesome minifigures. I really like the minifigure selection, and I really like the ship. It just is outclassed by some of these other sets. I would definitely recommend this even for $160. I think it's really awesome and it's really playable. It's really just a giant Star Destroyer. You get an idea of how big it is compared to some of these other sets. So I really do like it. It's just going to be my number 4. And then there were 3, and at number 3, I have chosen Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter. For $80, it is a bit pricey, but it's got some darn awesome minifigs, which go really well with the set. They really do fit the theme. The build experience is a little bit repetitive because you're building the same wings over and over, but I find that the look of this thing is great. It's got great displayability value for someone like me who loves to display things. It's got great swishability for someone like my 9-year-old cousin who would love to play around with it and swish it around and shoot at things with it. And I just feel like in general it's a really cool and menacing looking ship with some awesome minifigs, and I think that's something we're looking for from LEGO. And then there were 2, Bb-8 and the Resistance Bomber. And this is a tough choice for me because we have Bb-8, which is a very now iconic Star Wars character, but we also have the Resistance Bomber, which is just, you know, really awesome in my opinion. But at number 2, I have chosen Bb-8. I think Bb-8 fits number 2 here just because I've had some issues with the stand. You can see the stand is broken back there. I feel like the stand has just been not good enough. I feel like LEGO kind of let the ball drop there, at least for me. Maybe I built it wrong, but God, I just don't like the way it looks. I feel like the plaque is too small. But for $100 for 1,106 pieces, you're getting a good price per piece, and you're also getting a really cool collectible display model, which is going to go great next to your UCS R2-D2 if you have one like me. So this is a really awesome set. That's going to be number 2, the UCS Bb-8. For $100, I think is really awesome. It's going to be one of the more popular sets for sure, but I think it's slightly outclassed by my number 1 selection. And if you hadn't figured it out already, my number 1 selection is the Resistance Bomber. For $110, I know the price per piece isn't quite there, $110 for 780 pieces, but gosh darn, does this thing have the playability to be an awesome LEGO set for any kid who gets it. It's got great playability, great minifigure selection. I mean, these minifigs are awesome. They all fit inside the ship, and the ship itself just has so many different playability features. You can drop the bomb out of the bottom. You have your spring-loaded shooters on the sides. You have these little guns, which you can pretend are guns on there. You have the cockpit area. You have the centerpiece area. You have this area. You have 2 bubble turrets. You have these stud shooters on the back. This is just one of the most playable sets I've seen in a long time. I feel like if you're going to choose one of these sets to buy and you really can't decide, you have no bias at all towards Bb-8, I would say pick the Resistance Bomber. It's just a really awesome and unique looking ship, kind of like the First Order Heavy Scout Walker, except better. That's the best way to put it. So I would say if you're going to pick one of these, I would pick the Resistance Bomber. That's going to be my number 1 recommendation out of all these sets. However, I will say that you can't really go wrong with any of these sets. They're all really awesome looking. They all have their own cool, unique features about them, and I do really like most of them. I think they're all really genuinely good sets. I did have to pick the order here, so definitely this is going to be the worst. So if you guys are wondering which one not to get, I would stay away from the First Order Heavy Scout Walker. Unless its design just really genuinely intrigues you, then I would say go for it. It's not terrible for $50, but I would say it's definitely the worst out of the 7 we have in front of us. Alright, so I brought in my cousin Corey before we close up the video. He's going to tell you which one is favorite and which one is least favorite.
I like the Bb-8 the best.
So Bb-8 is his favorite. I chose Bb-8 as number 2. Now, which one is your least favorite? Which one's the worst?
This one.
Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy, hit that like button down below. If you're new around here, subscribe. And again, comment your favorite and your least favorite set down below in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys think is the best and worst set from The Last Jedi wave. Definitely for me, the best set is going to be the Resistance Bomber, although BB-8 is not far behind. If you ask Corey, BB-8 is the best, although I've had trouble with the stand, which kind of puts me off. And then as far as the worst set, it's definitely going to be the First Order Heavy Scout Walker. I just feel like that set doesn't have enough interior space. It's just a little bit weird looking, which I guess is something that we have been criticizing too much, I feel. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. If you are new around here, again, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Porg out. Alright, we're gone.